Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jordan. Welcome back. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm gonna be building an acoustic cloud for my home studio, walking you guys through kind of what I'm thinking and how to build it and why I'm building it in the first place. But before we get into that, I just released my first single off of my debut album, Castaway. Go check that out. I have it in the description below, and also I put it in the pinned comment. So please go give that a listen and let me know what you think about the song. You know, actually, let's give it a quick listen right now. My place tricks on me. I'm cast away with my hopes and dreams. All right, if you guys don't know what an acoustic panel or an acoustic cloud is, basically you might see like foam in rooms to kind of help with reverberation, and that's part of what I'm doing this for, is to stop reverberation. So when I'm recording, I'm not getting any echoes going on. But also, really for the acoustic panels and acoustic clouds, is rooms have resonances and kind of a tonality to them. So like you think of your guitar amp in a room, when you have it set up, it sounds wonderful and you love how it sounds. But then you go to another room and it might sound completely different. Really what's kind of happening is rooms have different resonances and different frequencies and kind of tones to them naturally. And you build an acoustic panel to help kind of attenuate some of those. It's kind of like an EQ pedal for the room in a way. I have some panels already in my room. They've helped a lot. And it's the best way is, I think, to look at it as an EQ. We're stopping the extra reverberation, so it's not echoey and all that, but we're also EQing the room to make it sound more flat is the goal. We're not trying to change any EQ. We're trying to keep it where if it sounds like this in our room, every room we go into, it translates very, very well. And that's like guitar tones, that's song mixes. So I plan to be doing some song mixing in here as well. And also for tracking, I want to get those reverberations gone as best I can. So if you're unaware, here's an acoustic, this is in the corner, it's like a bass trap. It's an acoustic panel. This one is, I didn't build this one, but it's 6 inches and it's actually cut for the wall. So it kind of fits perfectly in there. And I have 3 of these. So I have one in this corner, I have one actually on the ceiling right here, and then one over, oh, there we go, one over here. And those are all the same size, 6 inches, 2 foot by 48, or 2 foot by 4 foot, I should say. And those work exceptionally well. However, this room still has kind of a little bit of an echo, especially when I'm recording vocals in here, and I want that cleaned up so I can have really, really good vocal performances. And also, there is a really, really bad resonant frequency, and I'm hoping that I can absorb some of that with these clouds that I'm going to be building. Doing videos like trying out either I think it was the Friedman IR-X, I really noticed it, and some plugins I've actually done kind of reviews on, where I'm like plugging into my interface and just hearing through my speaker what happens. And I try to not comment on it in the video, because what's actually happening is my room has a buildup at like 120, 123 hertz. And it's like, it's really, really bad. You can tell because like guitars will start vibrating, the whole walls are resonating. And it's kind of a problem in some of my gear videos. I'm getting these resonances and it's kind of throwing off my opinion. I've actually had to edit videos back, cut some things out, because what I was hearing actually was not the actual product itself. It was just enhancing my room, kind of, I think it's called a room mode or something like that. It's a really, really aggressive resonant frequency at a certain frequency, and it kind of makes my opinion, especially for I'm doing gear reviews and listen to how things sound and tone. I'm trying to give you guys the best kind of reaction possible, and my room sometimes is causing problems. The Friedman IR-X video, it sounded great in the video, but in my room, I tried to not comment on it because I thought it was the room. It was very, very bad and drastic. So hopefully this cloud will help attenuate that, stop some extra reverberation, and just make my overall videos in studio better. And as you guys know, I'm a guitar player, not a builder necessarily. I do enjoy building though. My room here actually pretty much constructed the whole thing. And I like the aesthetic of wood. I like the wood aesthetic. And so for my panels, unlike these on the wall, I wanted the kind of border of the frame to be exposed wood. So because I'm not the greatest builder, but I want it to look nice as I can, I try to make it as simple as possible. And so the kind of thing I came up with to build for these clouds is they're going to be 6 inches thick, and I'm using Owens Corning 703 3 2-inch sheets of it, really, and then they're going to be 2 foot by 4 foot. But I will actually end up having to cut some of the insulation, unfortunately. So it's going to be the overall dimension is going to be 48 inches, but the insulation is going to be cut to 47 or 46 and a half. We'll have to see. But the wood I'm going to be using is this. The wood's going to be exposed, and I want it to be pretty. And then I forget what this wood kind of is called, but it's got a nice grain to it, and it came pre-cut to 48 inches, which is awesome, and it is 5.5 inches thick. Right now. So what I'm actually going to end up having to do is 2 are just going to stay as the side of the frame, so I don't have to do anything to them. But one of them I'm going to cut in half and get 2 24-inch pieces, and then that's going to be the kind of, you know, for this it's going to be the top part and bottom part, and because I already have that. And I'm just going to screw them together, and that's going to be the frame. But after that, we get the frame built, then we got to find the fabric, throw it all together, and then comes the really, really difficult part. It's going to be hung right here. I'm going to go into, find the trusses, and with some kind of hook screw things, I don't know what they call them, put those up and hang it, and hopefully do it as safely and securely, because obviously we don't want this falling. I do a lot of work right underneath this. I don't need it falling on me. So we got to really, really be careful, take our time and make sure it's right. But that is going to be the process. Disillusion thoughts fill my life with fantasy. Deep inside I want it. Ambition gets the best of me. All right, it's been a couple of days since the last clip. I forget exactly what you guys have seen, but I have went ahead, built the kind of rough look of the frame, and I'm gonna just kind of walk you through that right now. And then later today, I'm gonna be finalizing the frame, and then hopefully getting it ready, because my goal is hopefully tomorrow to have it fully hung and done. So what I did is literally these 2 side pieces are stock, just how they came. And then the middle piece, the way I decided to do it, which would be easier for me because I'm not the biggest construction person, is to just cut them at 24 inches because these were 48 inches and it fits in the middle. And then what I'm gonna have to do, because this is still just 48 inches and my insulation is 48 inches. So I'm losing about 1.5 inches. So I have to cut each piece of insulation by 1.5 inches to make it fit in here. But that's totally fine. I'm happy doing that. The other problem that I have kind of solved is this is only 5.5 inches and the insulation is going to add up to 6 inches. And so I was kind of 1/2 inch off. So what I ended up doing is buying some shoe mold that I'm going to frame on the outside. That's 3/4 inch. And so it's going to get me to the overall thickness is going to be about 6 1/4, which is going to be perfect. So the insulation will fit perfectly in there, not be exposed or anything like that. And I think it's going to be a nice aesthetic because this is going to be visible on the panel. I'm not covering this up with fabric. And that's where we're at right now. So next step for me is going to be cutting the shoe mold to fit here, or actually maybe sanding this, but cutting the shoe mold, getting the shoe mold on the outside of this, and then cutting the insulation, make sure it fits, cutting the fabric. And then after all that's kind of done, we're gonna work on the actual hanging aspect of it. And then we're gonna have to go up, take this ceiling fan, all those blades off, and it's gonna be hung up here. We're gonna have to put some hooks in the ceiling and get it going. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get all that wrapped up. Why is it I'm full of hopes and dreams? My mind plays tricks on me. I'm cast away with my hopes and dreams. I'm cast away, my mind plays tricks on me. All right, now I have it all sanded and blown off so there's not a bunch of extra dust everywhere. It's not perfect, but it's all right. All right, now I've done a light burn of the outside trim. I'm gonna try to finish up the rest. I don't know if I have enough fuel, but this is kind of what it looks like. With a light burn, you can completely char it if you want. I think I'm just going for a light burn like this. All right, so I had just enough of the torch to get a nice light burn. This is definitely my favorite side. Alrighty, I jumped quite a few steps ahead, honestly. I don't remember where I left off. I think I showed you guys after I had kind of burnt the outside. I went with this light burn. I'm digging it, actually. I'm kind of wishing I did my whole... See, this is a super dark burn. What's cool about this is I can actually sand it off to make it look more like this. And I might do that in the future. I'm digging this new look. And I actually... So these are the fabrics for my current panels. I actually... And that's burnt as well. I might in the future... I mean, obviously it doesn't match right now. I'm going to refabric all these. Really lighten the vibe up in here, you know. It's kind of dark. I think it's going to help out lighten the overall vibe. Obviously, we're absorbing sound, so that's great. That's a win. So this is, I don't know what this fabric color is called, but I like it. It's kind of matching these a little bit. Kind of matching my MGL over here, bringing out the whites. So in the future, I will have to refabric those and make those look as cool, but that's fine. That won't be too difficult. Maybe put some wood frame on them too. But this is where we're at. There is the fabric kind of nailed. It's not fully done, but it's a good look. I just wanted to see how it would look. I gotta fix that corner. Actually, gotta fix all the corners. Nonetheless, we got 6 inches of insulation here. So that's what it's looking like. I'm digging it. I'm loving the trim I put. Gave it that nice round, clean, smooth edge on everything. I think it looks epic, and I can already tell it's going to absorb a lot of sound. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. If I get down here, you can really hear the absorption going on. I got a lot of songs I want to be releasing over the next future, the next few years or decades, really. And I'm a big fan of home studios, doing all my recording at home. I do vocals, do guitar, of course, do bass, have my keyboard player come by. Only thing I don't do right now is drums, but maybe in the future. So that's why I'm investing in the home studios. You know, instead of going to studio and spending thousands of dollars and getting rushed out of the studio, I can spend as much time in here and create the music that I want. And I can have an endless release of music constantly, and very, very well recorded. All right, I'm back, and today we should be wrapping up pretty smoothly, hopefully. Got pretty much everything done. Quick update on what's left to do. So I went up in the attic earlier just to make sure. I kind of already knew how the trusses were ran. I just wanted to make sure, and they ran the exact way I really prefer that they were ran, which is, if we look up, they ran like this, not like this. So it just saves me a whole bunch of unnecessary drilling too. I kind of already knew they were like this. And they're roughly 24 inches apart, actually, I think. I'll have to make sure with my stud finder, but that's how they ran, so I'm really happy with that. So before I begin anything, I gotta take these blades off the ceiling fan. Probably gonna clean up my desk area I don't have a bunch of junk. Take the guitars out of the room, just in case, you know, I shouldn't have any problems, but, you know, I don't wanna risk anything, something falling, because after all, this is a big panel over here. Just want to be safe, don't want to damage anything, just in case something goes wrong. I don't think it will, but that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the hook put up here first, and then get them really strong, solid, and then based off that, I'm going to place them on the back side, the kind of adjacent hooks on the back side of this, so we can hang it very easily. Don't want to put the hooks on here yet until I get the finalized hooks up there, because I want to make sure they easily line up and it's going to be a smooth process. So that's where we're at, and I'll get back to you guys with updates soon. All right, and we're back. I finally got all the trusses and got the eye bolts up in the ceiling. The unfortunate reality to this, so the panels got to be like in the middle of the room, and I already know where the middle is because of where that panel is, because when I put that, I measured everything, made sure it's evenly on both sides. So my cloud's going to be in alignment with that. But as you see, the bolts, because they're in the trusses, are a little lopsided, which is unfortunate, but hopefully it won't be a problem. So basically the truss is about 6 inches in on that panel. Remember, these panels are 48 inches, 6 inches, and this is about 16 inches.
but once it's done, it should be fine, hopefully. I don't really see another way, unfortunately, but they're really sturdy in there. They locked in great. Got the other ones up there. So ready to go. That was a pretty smooth and easy process. I spent a lot of time measuring everything, finding the trusses, making sure they were good, and so I didn't have to drill any unnecessary holes. Every hole was perfect right away, so that was great. All right, I'm about to climb up on this ladder and show you guys how I'm planning on hanging these. Hopefully it works out, because it'd kind of suck if it doesn't. So basically, we have these eye bolts up here, and obviously I completely marked up the ceiling. I'll have to just repaint it. And then basically what I got is, forget what they're called exactly, like some kind of S hook. I think that's what it's called. Since these bolts are closed, I have to go S-clip in there. And then I'm trying, hopefully this works out, to use these turnbuckles to then hook into the eye bolts on the panel itself. So it's gonna be something like this. Let me show you. Strong setup, hopefully that's strong. Feels good. So that's the plan. I gotta go put the eye bolts in the panel itself first. First I'll have to actually kind of clean up this fabric and all that. But eye bolt, basically right into here. And get them all. I'll get it all measured out, make sure it lines up perfectly, and it should be right up on the ceiling. But we got it hung, about to get it hung. Got the clips in the ceiling, S clips into turnbuckles, and then we have the eye bolts on the panel itself, and we're gonna try to go hang it right now. All right, well now I've got it hung. The air gap is too large. The S clips are causing a problem, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix it. It's hanging too low off the ceiling. Like I said, it's hanging too high, unfortunately. But I'm gonna get it squared away somehow. Alrighty, I have finally finished the cloud. It took a while. I thought yesterday I was gonna be done by like 1 p.m. and I didn't finish till like 6 p.m. It was rough. I had to go back and forth to Lowe's to get some things, and then I realized actually I didn't need all that. And so what ended up happening, because you guys probably previously saw, it was hanging but way too low. There was no way I'd get the ceiling fan on, and it was just obnoxiously low, and it was because of those S hooks. And so what I ended up doing was finding a way, because I really wanted to use the turnbuckle because I just found it was easy and convenient. So I stuck with that, and what I had to do was get rid of the S clip, and the problem was the turnbuckle and the eye bolts were like closed. You couldn't, so I just went and bent the eye bolt a little bit, just enough to get in there, and closed it back on the panels, and then slipped the turnbuckle in there. And I'm gonna see if I can show you guys that. Sorry, I just turned the fan off. The fan was on. Thankfully, it looks like it's gonna hit, but thankfully it doesn't. And I'm probably gonna have to figure out a way to add a covering. I didn't do that to the back side, a thin covering, but I can handle that. So basically all you're seeing there's got an eye bolt in the ceiling, eye bolt on the panel, and then just a turnbuckle is holding them right on the ceiling. And it seems, so far it's only been a day, but it seemed very, very stable. And I'm loving the look of it. I'm gonna have to redo these panels for sure, because these are just kind of boring. They blend in, which is cool, but these are so, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing. I like the light burn of it. I like the fabric color lightens up the vibe a little bit. Still in the future, I might do something with the ceiling fan, because something I don't like about it, but I need it for right now because it gets hot in here. And then in the future, I'm probably gonna build another thinner cloud right here, and then this back wall, I'm gonna put a panel, because it gets very, I don't know if you guys can hear it on camera, but it's like very resonant and echoey in here. I think in the future it's gonna be so much easier after everything I've learned. But I haven't mixed anything on it or recorded anything through it, but I listened to some songs I'm very familiar with, especially listening in this room. I just feel like I'm hearing it so much cleaner and clearer. I feel like what was happening, must have been happening previously, is I was hearing these reflection points, and I still got reflection points I will have to cover up. And also this room has a big resonance frequency, and I don't know if it's 100% cured in this position, like under the cloud, but it's very, very much improved. And so I'm very happy with that. But no, listening to mixes, I can hear like panning so much better. I can hear the overall tonality EQ wise, the volume, all that I feel like I hear so much clearer than I used to be able to hear. And that's going to help out a lot with my future recordings. So I plan to do tons of recordings in this studio. I want to be releasing tons of music over the next years. And I need an easy way for my studio to translate and record where I might, you know, I'm investing into this studio so I don't have to go out to tons of studios. Even though it's cool to do that, it's a fun experience. It's just financially, I can get endless music created in this studio, and I don't have to keep spending all that money. Once I build this cloud and I build some other things, and I really pretty much have everything else that I do, I can record everything but drums here, and maybe in the future I'll be able to do that. And it's so rewarding. So now I know this is helping my room sound. The word is translate. It helps it translate. So even my guitar tones, when I'm singing, when I'm setting up some bass guitar tones or some keyboard tones, I'm hearing actually what it sounds like. I'm not hearing a bunch of reverberations and exaggerations of different frequencies. And it's very awesome that finally, after this hard work of building this and hanging this yesterday, I feel like it's totally worth it. So if you guys are interested, I highly recommend you building a cloud if you need to. Going forward, when I do the next one, it's going to be a lot easier because I know what I'm doing, I feel like. But it's totally worth it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's completely different than I ever usually post here, but I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the video. And if you haven't already, go check out my last song, my last single called Castaway. It's gonna be linked in the description below. You probably heard a clip of it in the beginning of the video, but that's all. And I'll see you guys probably in the next few days with another guitar video. Back on track with testing out some different gear and guitar lessons and some covers. I got some awesome covers coming later this month. So stick around and I'll see you guys back next time.
Time keeps passing, still lost in this old place, stranded in these thoughts, blinded life chained down to me. No, I'm breaking out, set my sails and flying free. I had this dream, but my thoughts can't do for me. Why is it I'm full of hopes and dreams? My mind plays tricks on me. I'm cast away with my hopes and dreams. I'm cast away, my mind plays tricks on me.